Hi Year 4, hope you're all doing okay. This is the next lesson into perimeter for this week. But before we go into perimeter, I have a quick 5-minute starter for you today, like we would do in school. So what I want you to do is see if you can remember how to use the bus stop method to work out these questions. Okay, so if you remember how to do it, pause the video, have a go at them. If you're not sure after you've given it a go, so please give it a go first, but if you're really in a pickle, I'm going to go through the answers now. Okay, so if you have, that didn't work, let me just get rid of that. If you have 936 divided by 3, you draw your bus stop. The number you're dividing by goes on the outside. The number you are dividing goes on the inside of the bus stop, okay? So the key question is how many lots of something are there? So how many lots of 3 are there in 9? Now in school we drew the dots, so you could draw the dots, but just for timings I'm not going to. So there are 3 lots of 3 in 9. So you could have drawn 9 dots and then you would have grouped into 3 groups of 3. And then you have 3. How many lots of 3 are in 3? It's 1. And then how many lots of 3 are in 6? Would be 2. Okay, so if now you remember how to do it, see if you can have a go at the next one. So pause the video now and have a go yourself. Hopefully you've all had a go at some of the questions. I will go through the rest of them now. So 852 divided by 4. So there are 2 lots of 4 and 8. There'll be no carried over. There's 1 lot of 4 and 5. But there would be 1 carried over because there's 1 extra 1, and then there's 12. So then there's 3 lots of 4 in 12. So it'd be 213. The next one, 755 divided by 3. I'm definitely getting better at using the mouse, I would say. So we have 2 lots of 3 and 7, and we'd have 1 left over. There are 5 lots of 3 in 15. And there's 1 lot of 3 in 5, but there's 2 left over, so therefore we have a remainder of 2. So 251, remainder 2. Hopefully you managed to get those right answers. We will be revisiting the bus stop method at some point anyway in the future, so don't worry too much if you didn't. It was just a quick starter just to kind of refresh your memory on that. So as I said, today we're going to carry on with perimeter. So we're going to carry on looking at the perimeter of rectangles. So we have pretty much the same style words as yesterday, I think, so nothing to go through there, to be honest. So quick recap then, can you remember how to work out the perimeter of rectangles? So in school, I would get you to do it on your whiteboard. I was going to say on your whiteboard. At home, in your books or on a piece of paper, could you have a go at trying to work out the perimeter of these rectangles? Okay. If you know how to do it, pause the video now and try and work out. If you don't, I'll go through the first one with you. Okay. So the first one then, let me just get my pen ready. So remember, we count how long the sides are. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each box is going to be a centimetre. So 5 centimetres, 1, 2, 3, and that's 3 centimetres. And remember yesterday, if we know that this one's 5, the opposite one's going to be 5. And if we know that this one's 3, the opposite one's going to be 3. So then we add them all together. So I know that 5 add 5 is 10, add 3 is 13, add another 3 would be 16. So the perimeter is 16 centimetres. If you thought, oh, I know what to do now, have a go at the other two, and then I'll go through the answers in a sec. Okay, answer time then. This one, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 up here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So it's a square. So I know that it's going to be 4 times 4 because there's 4 lots of 4 on the outside of this, which I know is 16. That is also 16 centimetres. This one, we have 3 and again 3 because you can see it's a square. So these aren't actually rectangles. So that shouldn't say rectangles. I've just noticed that, so I do apologise. We all make mistakes, as you know. These two are squares. That's a rectangle. So well done if you spotted that. So this one, it would be 3 times 4, which is 12. So the perimeter would be 12 centimetres. Okay, cool. So hopefully you managed to get through that okay. We're going to move on today to using the knowledge from yesterday, working out kind of the missing numbers and how we could still work out perimeters even if we don't have a grid. So these ones we have a grid on, so it's quite easy to work out. However, sometimes you won't always have a grid to work out the perimeter of a rectangle. So that's what we're going to look at today. So what information are we missing? Could we still work out the perimeter? Could we use a bar model to help? So we have a rectangle, one side is 6, so the length is 6 and the width is 2 centimetres. So if you want to pause the video to have a think about how we could use a bar model to help us work out the perimeter by working out these two as well, how could we work it out? Have a think and pause the video and then come back to me and then we're going to go through it together. Welcome back. I have made a bar model. Now, I'm not drawn it this time because after last time mine wasn't very good. So this one's looking a bit better. So we need to work out the top part because we want to work out what all the sides are added up all together. So that's what we need to work out. We know that one side is 6 and another is 2. Now, as we talked about yesterday, the opposite sides are always the same. So if we know that this side's 6, this side's got to be 6 as well. So that means we've got another one of our, I should be putting centimetres here, sorry. We've got another section of our bar model. And if we know that this side 2, this side is also going to be 2. So then we've got another section. Now, all you need to do is add those up and then you'll get this one, okay? So 6 and 2 is 8, and then another 6 and 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16, so the perimeter is 16 centimetres. Now we've gone through one together, have a go at working out this using a bar model. So give yourself a couple of minutes, see if you can work it out using a bar model. Hopefully you managed to work it out. I have already filled in the boxes, so you don't have to watch me painfully scribe it all in. So you should have 2 lots of 10 because we know that one side's 10, so the other side's going to be 10, and then 2 lots of 5 because one side's 5, so the other side is going to be 5. So that should be what's in the bottom boxes, and then you add them all up, and the top one should be 30 centimetres. So hopefully you will manage to get that. Now for today it's a bit different. There's no Mathletics set today. Instead I have some questions on here for you, okay? So they're on this video. They're in 2 groups, so there's a group 1 and a group 2. Now normally in school I ask you how confident you're feeling and then you choose which group you want to do. So it's the same principle, okay? I can't physically give you which group or say which group you're going to do. It's whatever you want to do. So if you feel quite confident with perimeter and you want to give group 2 a go for that. If you're not too confident, you want a bit more practice, go for group 1, okay? Same goes if you're on group 2 and you think actually this is a bit tricky, I need to take it back a few steps, go on to group 1. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Just do whatever feels right for you, okay? Don't think, oh, I'm going to go to group 2 because I'll get through it quicker. It's not at all like that, okay? I'd rather you do group 1 and do it really well than rush group 2 and not get it right, okay? So they're also all uploaded to Microsoft Teams. So if you rather print them off, then that's fine. They're also on a PDF and I've uploaded it onto Microsoft Teams. If you want to go and find that, it will be on there for you. But if not, then here are the questions. So I'll go through each one and then you can pause it, work them out, and then I will also be going through the answers in the video as well. So here's the questions for group 1. I'll just scroll down. So there we go. So if you want to pause it, if you're doing group 1, and then you can go through these questions. And if you're doing group 2, sorry, I can't fit them all onto one screen. So you might have to pause it now to find out this one. And then pause it again for this question. I apologise, I can't fit them both onto the one slide. And then there is also a challenge. So if you finish group 1 and group 2, here is a challenge for you to have a go at as well. And once you've done that, we're going to go through the answers. So make sure you've done at least 20 minutes worth of work or so. Don't spend ages on them, okay, because you don't need to do all of them. Just give yourself about 20 minutes to go through them, see how many you get done, and then we'll go through the answers. So welcome back. Hopefully you spent about 20 minutes or so going through some of those questions. Hope you found them okay. Well, let's go through the answers. So group 1, number 4A, where you had to label the length and the width of the swimming pool, it would have been 10 meters because each square, the length was 5. So the length would have been 15, sorry, 15 is down here, and then the width is 10 because it's 2 times 5. And then the perimeter is 50 because you add all the 5s up together. This one over here, where you had to fill in this table, A was 18, B was 30, C was 18, D was 28. And then this one, where you had to fill in the bar model, it should have been 4 here. So a colour border is 6 meters long and it fits around class 4. I don't know what that says. Notice board, exactly. The height of the notice board is 1 meter. What is the length? Complete the bar model to help. So we know that the perimeter is 6 meters. That's why it's at the top. So that's all the numbers added together. We know that both these sides are going to be 1. So that's why we've got those here. Then we take away these 2 from the 6, so we know we're left with 4. Now remember, 4 needs to be divided by 2 because it needs to be divided between these 2 sides. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, therefore the length is 2 meters. Hopefully that makes sense. If you're still not sure, send me a message and then we can go through it together again. If you were on group 2, you should have had the perimeter as 40 sticks. So I think I actually drew it because I've already worked these out. I think I drew it to help me, and then that's how I worked out the perimeter. The length was 12 and the width was 8, and you can see I've also used a bar model to help me. So if you weren't sure how to do it, here's the bar model, and that's how I went through it. And then this one, so 9 meters matched up with this one at the bottom, 5 meters matched with this one, with the 100 centimeters, 150 centimeters, 6 meters matched with this one on the left, sorry, and then 3 meters matched with this one on the bottom left. The one that caught me out actually was the one where it's in centimeters, this one. So you actually had to convert it between centimeters and meters. That caught me out, so I do wonder if it caught you out as well. And then finally, if you got onto the challenge, I actually drew the tables. I thought that was the best way to kind of show it and actually help me work out as well. So it says the square table has a side length of 70, and then I worked at the perimeter by times and that's by 4. If it's a square, you know that all the sides are going to be the same, so you can times it by 4. 2 tables are put together, so I drew the 2 tables put together, and then I wrote down all the sides, so I knew how many I had to add up, because I think a few of you might have gotten a pickle with adding up this bit in the middle, but if they're put together, you don't need to add that bit up because it becomes one big rectangle. So you should have got 420, okay? And hopefully the drawing kind of helps you see why you don't need to add those 2 sides together as well. I hope that all makes sense. I hope I didn't rush through that too quickly for anyone. If you need to obviously go back in the video, then rewind it. And if you need any further help, send me an email, send me a message, and I'm more than happy to help you. Okay, thanks for watching and speak to you again tomorrow.